On this episode of Windows Games on Linux, I go over my top 4 native Linux games that I love. So, what top 4 list wouldn't be complete without a caveat at the start when it comes to Linux gaming? To make this list, you pretty much have to be able to just hit install from Steam and then play with absolutely zero configuration. So that even excludes some native games, such as Civ 5, one of my favorites. However, you have to do a patch basically to get it to work natively. On some systems, at least Arch-based systems, you do. And then also, I do include one Proton game in here that just is fantastic out of the box and is just gorgeous. So the rest are all native though, and some of my personal favorites. So with that said, let's get into it. So my first game out of the box that works perfectly that I love is something I actually started playing when I first played my very first PC game. And that's Baldurs Gate 2. Back in the late 90s, this was one of the very first games I actually played on PC. And I still love it, so it's great. And I still even remember it has some wonky controls compared to what it was back in the day, but love it.
Rumors of ancient ruins and incredible treasures often reach the ears of the party as they travel the length of the Sword Coast. But no tale is so lucrative as that of Watcher's Keep. The ruin still stands, it is said, and a religious order known as the Knights of the Vigil have made a call wide and far for heroes to aid their dangerous...
Swords, not words!
I am at peace in the outdoor places, though it never seems to
Mince
last.
jump on my sword while you can, Evil. I won't be as gentle. Greetings to you, my friend. I believe I have heard of you. You are one of the companions of the Child of Baal.
So I'm not going to bore you guys too much with this game. It's obvious, it's an old game, and it's actually a native game. So we did expect this to work just perfect, very fast. Of course, it being as old as it is. But I wanted to kind of start out with that one because I said that was my very first PC game I played. And I think I played that on Windows 95 or 98 when it first came out, just to kind of give some time periods here. But they ported and did an enhanced edition and released it on Steam. Love it. It's great. With that said, let's move on to game number 2. Now, I'm not going to be doing any Fallout. That would obviously make the cut here, but it requires tweaking. And for this, only games that are native. Getting over it, I would suggest, but I'm not mean. Don't ever play this game. It will make you rage and throw things. Not recommended. My second game, though, will be Holo Knight. This is just a fantastic game, and I will be playing this one on a Steam controller. It's a very good platformer, so just enjoy this one. It's very fluid, just a fantastic game. So if you haven't played this, you like platformers, definitely play some Holo Knight. I'm going to just do a sample 1-minute montage here on Holo Knight. Oh, so good. And for this, I'm going to go straight to the first boss, and we're going to play that because it requires extreme precise timing. So any lag or anything like that, and I will die. Honestly, I'm probably going to die anyways just because I'm not that good at this game, so... Alright, I gotta beat this boss. Alright, that's a respectable thing. Look at that. Second try. I got absolutely no damage. So we'll go ahead and quit out right here on Holo Knight, but that was just a sample gameplay of the first boss and its run through. Obviously you saw on that second run I kind of remembered the controls a little bit, got a little more comfortable, and aced the final boss. Alright, and the next game, no surprise here. This list, you knew one of the absolute best native Linux games is Rise of the Tomb Raider. Out of the box, this is just a fantastic game. So let's go ahead and play a little bit of this. I haven't played it that much. Obviously, I think I just started it, so let's see what we get.
The trail leads up the mountain. We'll have a good view of the valley beyond from the summit.
All right, let's take it easy here. This wind is crazy.
We just need to keep moving.
Hey, even if we don't find anything up here, your dad would be proud.
I know, but I have a good feeling about this.
You okay?
Lost my footing. I'm fine.
Laura!
Ah! Ah! That was close.
Laura! Are you all right?
Jonah! I'm here!
I'll climb down there and get you!
Insanely good graphics, great performance, extremely fast, just absolutely love it. For the fourth and final game here, with what I like out of the box, just great. This isn't actually native, this is using Steam Proton, but I had no problems. I literally just hit install and play, and it works fantastic. That's going to be Witcher Wild Hunt, or Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Ever tell you about this sorcerer I knew? Couldn't stop talking about how useful they are as creatures.
Because you can brew potions from their blood?
No, because by eating rotting corpses, they prevent epidemics.
Did he know they eat the living as well?
Okay, so I could try to find some combat, but this is kind of the start of the game, so there's just a lot of story to this game. Witcher 3, I haven't actually played through it. I've been meaning to, but I just started, so had no problem with like the initial ghoul scene. Everything's very flowing. I might actually bump up the graphics. I thought I had everything on ultra, but looking at some of the world, it's just a little blocky.
Come on.
So I know it could do better than that, but a very fluid, smooth gameplay right out of the box. So no tinkering required. Like all my other videos, you see that, but in this one, it just this is what you get right out of the box, which is really good. I would just up my graphics quality and see what we get there. But past that, I think we'll go ahead. Let's go down to options. Let's see what we can do inside the game without having to do like a relaunch here. Because I think we can improve this a bit. You know what? Let's do something crazy here. Just try everything on Ultra on high and see what happens. Well, it looks a lot better. Let's see what we get on as far as frame rates. Yeah, still pretty good. Let's see what we got. I mean, the hair kind of looks a little weird to me, but yeah, not bad, I guess.
We going? Help me! Help!
So before I quit here, one thing I noticed is a micro stutter, and it's not a performance issue, it's more of a something called eSync, and I've done it in past videos. For this game, I'd actually enable that option in the launcher options before really jumping into this game and playing it even more. Stutter during cutscenes and stutter during just general gameplay, that, you know, I can see my CPU's not working hard. There's no real bottleneck here. Usually that's a sync issue, and usually disabling VSync and then also turning off eSync in the launcher options would solve this. But other than that, I mean, this is perfectly playable, and you could still have a good time, and most people wouldn't even really notice that. But that's just an optimization I would make. But this is ultra settings, and like I said, very smooth. Just some of the cutscenes, you saw that little stutter, and that's how you get rid of that. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and quit out here and jump back to the desktop. So that was my top 4 games that I absolutely love. You know, obviously my 2 favorites out of this were my first 2, Baldurs Gate 2, even though it's older than sin. I still love playing that game, and just the nostalgia I get. I remember being at my dad's playing this game, and it was just such a fantastic game. And I remember I played for hours and hours and hours. It just still holds a special place in my heart. And then Holo Knight, this was recent. Me and my kids actually played this together, and that's why it kind of made the list, because it was just such a fun game. And to see my kids like struggle with the platformer, and then me to grab the remote and defeat all the bosses, they just thought I was king of the world at that time. And it's just a great experience, and it's just so fluid and just feels great to play. The other 2 I kind of threw on there just as fan favorites, something I've been meaning to play through, but I haven't actually had the chance. And those games look beautiful, great story, and it's just some that I would definitely recommend to play, and I want to play through myself. I just haven't had the time to. I'll eventually get around to it, even though those games have been in my library pretty much since release. But with that said, guys, I'll see you in the next video.